What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review, and today we're taking a look at the intersection of Transformers and Ghostbusters. This is the Hasbro Ectotron, and this came out like GameStop and Hasbro Pulse, and I don't know if anywhere else, but those are the only two that I know of. And it's a beautiful representation of the Ecto-1. It's proportionally, it's right. Of course, you got little transforming marks here where you can see things that separate and stuff, but you can't really hold that against a Transformer too much, especially one that's just a heavy retool of an existing toy. But I will say, like, the effort and love put into this is kind of amazing to me. Like, just look at all the paint details. Like, you got a lot of translucent parts here that have silver paint applied to them, so you got these translucent blues. Your bumpers are actually a translucent clear plastic on both of them. You can kind of see it if you angle it that way. And then it's been painted silver, but that lets the lights come through, which looks really nice. Same thing for the back. The tail lights have given a red translucent. It's gorgeous. Like, we never get this much paint. Like, even the little details coming down the hood here look beautiful. You got two-tone wheels. Like, how many Transformers do you get that they just don't bother painting the wheels? Like, it's really nice. I think the only thing you could complain about a little is maybe some of the roof details could use a little extra paint. I can't remember if this canister had extra paint, and obviously you got some little like wires and stuff here that could be picked out, but really, on the grand scheme of things, it's a gorgeous Ecto-1. So one thing that I think is really creative is the way they made the roof stuff ends up becoming the proton pack, and then you see you have the wand here is actually attached on. It doesn't really look out of place, even though it's not right, but if you didn't want it, just take it off. And now it's more Ecto-1 appropriate, I suppose. Also in the box, you end up getting a little translucent Slimer here. He is just squishy and flexible. Kind of wish they made a creme zik in this type of material. And he's got a little hole at the bottom here. I'm not going to plug it in like that, but you can just kind of plug it in here and attach him just like that if you wanted. So, it's an option. I'm not going to personally use it, but it's an option. And I feel like we should take a second just to point out that the box is beautifully G1, very much like the original G1 stuff. Even having the tech spec, which is very, very visible here, so you don't really need one of those red decoders. And some information in multiple languages. Oh yeah, and that classic Hasbro battle scene that I feel like I could have looked at for hours as a kid. So transforming this guy is a breeze. We're going to go ahead and unpeg the hose here. We're going to unpeg the ones from the side here. We can go ahead and take the wand off just for clarity. And then just lift the roof stuff off. It kind of pegs in on the front peg there, right here. And we'll just put Ectotron to the side here. We'll take this, unpeg this hose. We'll deal with that after. Take this, fold it to the right, and I wish I knew all the names for all the things on top of the Ecto-1. At one point I did, now they just kind of elude me. Take this, flip it all the way around. Love how everything kind of tucks in there. It does look like this should peg in up here, but it doesn't seem to do that, and I don't really think you need to force it. It just kind of sits there and looks nice. And also this little hose is supposed to plug in to the top here, just so it kind of sits like that. So we'll leave this like this, and we'll leave the wand to the side, and we'll come back to Ectotron. And I think I forgot to say to unpeg the ladder. It usually comes off pretty easy. It just pegs in the side. So the first thing you do is take this and kind of rotate them all the way up. And this is just a retool of the Combiner Wars hotspot, actually. And it kind of shows, unfortunately, because there are some things that are a little loose with this mold. Go ahead and break this back connection. Well, unpeg it, not really break it. Open this up, which is going to allow all this stuff to come up and lock in place. And then close that. Bring the feet down if they didn't come down in the process of you moving it. Split them apart. And take the trunk of Ecto-1 and open it up to make heel spurs here. So that's the bottom. Coming up to the top of the car here, we're going to go ahead and split the arms. Bring them down like that. Go ahead and flip out the fists. Bring this panel here, slide it down, which slides down the whole wheel back here. And then rotate that forward. So we'll do the same thing on this side, bring it down. Fists, slide the wheel down and rotate it around. And then open up the top here, flip the head out, and close it. So there we've got Ectotron in robot mode. We'll go ahead and take the proton pack, and it's going to peg right into here, just like so. And then what I like to do, because you can, is I like to take the wand here and put it in this hand, which does take a little bit of force to get it in there, but it will clip in. And then I kind of orient his arms so he can hold it in both hands like so. I kind of give him the looking down over his shoulder, and then I take this piece here and I plug it on in. And we've got Ectotron in his robot mode, holding the proton pack in a very Ghostbusters appropriate stance, in my opinion. So real quick, before we take a closer look, here is the MP Sideswipe mold for size comparison there. Let's get that out of the way, and I forgot to show it in car mode. We'll do that when we get him back to his car mode. So taking a quick look at the head sculpt here, I'm not a huge fan of it. The head has the goggles on, but they don't go up and down. I really wish they did. They look like they're down from most angles, but his eyes are actually visible underneath, and they're not light piped or anything, or lit up in any meaningful way, so you'll never really be able to see the eyes. I really wish they had used one of the heads that they used for some older toys to kind of give him the goggles that moved. You do have the Ectotron on his chest. Looks nice, kind of have that gray jumpsuit motif on most of them. Let's zoom out here so you can see it. Coming to the back here, the proton pack. Now all the paint that they put everywhere else, they obviously skimped on the proton pack. They picked out some silver bits, but I really wish they had picked out like the red lights and maybe a little bit of the cabling. I may go back and add that myself. I'm kind of hoping Repro Labels gets a little sticker pack for this guy that maybe does that type of thing, because I think I would be in on that. So one of the big complaints I have about this guy is that he is just a reuse of the old Combiner Wars toys, and as a result, he's kind of a little loose and floppy. Like, this joint doesn't take very much to manipulate, and he has no ankle rocker or anything like that, so it can be a little challenging to get him positioned in such a way that he looks good. These big knee gaps, I really wish they were filled in. That's one of the things I never really liked about that hotspot mold, personally. And I can, like, you know, I'll put him down and you'll just kind of position him a little, and he just kind of wants to fall backwards because of the weak joints, which is, it's definitely a shame. And there's some small issues here that come off way worse on camera than they do in person, but they are noticeable. And that's the fact that you can see this is painted tan and this is just tan plastic, and it just really kind of makes it look like he's wearing like little cut-off shorts and this is his thigh. You're probably not going to be able to unsee that now. So Ectotron is a fan of little cut-off shorts and his bare thighs exposed. So enjoy that visual in your head. So let's go ahead and get this guy back to his car mode, and we'll do that size comparison and get out of here. Let's start again with the proton pack. We're just going to unpeg this, bring this all the way around so it pegs in, and bring the red piece up. Bring this piece over here, and you'll see there's a little slot there and a little tab here. Just get that in place, and that's going to help make sure that you get the hose back in place when you're putting it back. So that's done. We'll put that aside for now. Coming to Ectotron, very easy. Open this, put this down, rotate this out, push the wheel up, put his hand back in his arm cavity, and repeat the process over here, like so. Bring this in. Have trouble here, even though you're not supposed to have trouble with this because he's an easy mold. Oops, it's because I rotated his hand to the side. That's what it was. Take the legs, peg them together, open this up, Combiner Wars all this back in, which should allow the front to peg in to the back like that. Go ahead, close these up, flip the little feet forward. Probably in the process these have come down for you because they always do for me. Bring these up, peg them in place. And make sure that's pegged in as nice as you can, because otherwise it does leave those big gaps here. take the sides of the car, fold that down and in place on both sides here. Take your proton pack, put the hose on in first, kind of leave this hose part around, bring it in, and then clip it down and in place. You are going to see a little bit of the hose showing through the side on the top there. That's okay. Just take these, peg them in place, and that's done. Come around to the ladder, pick it up, clip it on in, and the antenna just plugs right in like that. We have him back into his car mode. Go ahead and put the wand back on if you want it. And there he is, back in car mode. As promised, there he is next to an MP car. So, you know, the scaling doesn't look terrible, I guess. But it's up to you. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, not the view. I mean, there is a view, I guess, but whatever. Yeah, if you have Ectotron, let me know what you think. Let me know if you like him. Let me know where you're displaying him. I should be getting the MP Optimus Prime in the Ghostbusters color soonish, so I would expect to see this guy again when we talk about him. So, again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.